And we are live. Good evening, folks. You see what Mike say something so they can see what you're doing.
I got my fold. Here we go. I got my fold. You
Oh
see, the
god.
cost of this phone is the cost of this is less than the actual. Oh, I broke it in half. I'm so sorry.
Pardon us, folks. There's one in every crowd, as you well know.
Yeah.
Mobile
This thing-
Geezer here. Welcome to my channel and welcome to Friday Night Tech Talk with Mike of Simply Your Device and Will. And Mike, you say hello first.
Okay. Mike Dixon of SimplyYourDevice. And how you all doing? I have my LG Apple Fold or Split. We'll call it Split. There we go. Welcome to tonight's chit chat, Friday Night Tech Talk.
Will?
What's going on, everybody? It's Friday, thank God. Not really good for me, but doing the double.
I was
He's
just going
doing a double
Mike,
shift tonight, and
Mike,
he's saying it's Friday. Thank God. I mean, come on,
Mike,
now.
I'm doing a double, then I'm going back at 11.
Okay.
You're sick.
All right. So at least, folks, you know one of us is really tough.
Nah, I just could stay up. That's all.
And of course, if you don't know me, I'm Mobile Geezer. You're on my channel this week, and you can find me at Twitter and Instagram and Facebook. And my website is mobilegeezer.wordpress.com, and I usually do one article a week. So please subscribe and follow me on the social networks and look up my articles. So, are we jumping right in?
Oh man. I don't want to say I told you. I don't want to say I told you so, George.
Yeah, let me tell them first.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm just going to sit back first, and then I'm gonna press my opinion. So,
pretty much everybody knows I have the Nokia 9 PureView. Yes, the phone with the 5 cameras, and I like the phone a lot, but it has the absolute worst in-screen fingerprint scanner ever made. It is absolutely terrible. Well, I'm getting an update right this second. I don't know if you can see that, but I'm waiting for it, and hopefully the fingerprint is better, so I'm kind of excited. All right, so we are going to go into our first topic, and I bet you can all guess what it is. It is the Samsung Galaxy Fold. All right. Mike, why don't you take that first, because I have the feeling you have lots to say.
Well, which article? Which one I'm trying? I had them all lined up. Here you go. Okay. Well, as most of you all know, the Galaxy Fold is apparently having its issues. I'm not going to bother really reading the article because by now this has been the hottest news in the last 48, 72 hours. Yeah.
Yeah, and make sure you say, for anybody who doesn't know, we're talking about the $2,000 phone.
It's only $2,000. I think I saw financing for $66 a month. I mean, that's all. Just add a line or port your number into, so. But the deal with the Fold is, it folds and then the screen turns off. I like that one picture. You see that one picture? It looks like it's coming in waves. Poor fellow Mark Goodman, where it looks like it's like somebody spilled ink and it's running down the picture.
Yes.
Yeah. The problem, some of the problems were people thinking they had a screen protector, and some of these units didn't have like a big enough or didn't have a sign saying "Do not peel off what is a screen protector." It's really part of the screen. And
and there have been some published reports that said, well, it wasn't made prominent enough not to take that off. But a few of the big YouTubers like Marquez said there was no message saying that not to take that off at all. Okay, go ahead.
So yes, but also though too, Des from T-Mobile showed his phone, his box, and it does say in relatively small print. And kind of these are all review units for people, for the the bigger people, and Marquez did a thing I just watched earlier. It covered not just your typical YouTube tech reviewers, but people from I think he did somebody from CNBC, I believe, and CNET. I believe somebody was from CNET. But it's interesting how this phone is polarizing, should we say?
Yeah.
You know, I'll read real quick the statement. Samsung provided Bloomberg's Mark Goodman with a following statement. So see right there, we have other people other than typical YouTubers, which is interesting though. Think about it. Normally, it's the YouTubers are the ones getting these or would get these units, yeah, and would be the ones, you know, saying there's something wrong with the phone. So it's interesting. I don't know if you guys agree with that, but don't you find it interesting that somebody else's, you know, other people who write for publications like Bloomberg,
but see, you know, I put out a lot of videos too, so I can see that. You know,
see, I get you. The statement goes: a limited number of early Galaxy Fold samples were provided to media for review. We have received a few reports regarding the main display on the samples provided. We will thoroughly inspect these units in person to determine the cause of the matter. Separately, a few reviewers report having removed the top layer of display, causing damage to the screen. The main display for the Galaxy Fold features a protective layer, which is part of the display structure designed to protect the screen from unintended scratches. Removing the protective layer or adding adhesive to the main display may cause damage. We will assure information is clearly delivered to our customers. So, yeah. And one other thing, I don't know if that George, you sent me that article from Android Central, and I don't know if it's an ad, but I wish you guys could see this, but I have it says the customer's always right. It goes on in its blue box. It says Samsung Galaxy Fold, 2 screens to love, 2 screens to break. And it goes on, Samsung's folding Galaxy Fold is a remarkable piece of engineering despite early signs of tablet display, signs that the tablet's display is prone to breaking. There's a lot to like about the first foldable. And then it goes and has a link to AT&T for $980.
Really?
Yes.
I'm not saying that I don't mind.
Yeah, well, that's what I said. I think of course, everybody gets different ads. You know, not everybody's going to have, but it's like a blued out section on your. Now, what the heck happened now? I just clicked, and yeah, now it's taking me to Dell. I don't know why.
Okay.
But I just found it interesting. I was like going, hey, this phone's got problems, but well, here's the link to AT&T to go get your own. You know.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say this, Will, you're not impressed with this phone, and
what, the Fold?
Yeah, well, you were not just impressed.
I don't
impressed.
Like
you were like.
To me, the whole folding thing is like, for what? Like, I don't know if I told George last week or whenever we were talking about it, but all right, let's say the front screen on this phone anyway. This one was small, but let's say they do make one that has a screen that's a decent size. Let's say 5.5 inches. So then, when you want to like really do something, you have to unfold your phone. How many times a day are you going to be unfolding your phone? You know what I mean? Like, just get a note.
Wait, back up. You said you got to do what now? Why do you have to unfold the phone?
When you want to like to get the use out of the phone, like to use the, what is it, a 7 point?
But not all the time, because they got the smaller screen. You could still do things on the
on this phone, that screen was what, 4 inches? They had 3 apps across.
4.5. Get it right. 4.5.
It was like 3 apps across. Like that's
okay.
That's like you, Mike, using. I think that screen is smaller than the SE. That's like you going back to that.
But I'm not going to go back to that. But the whole point is having the smaller screen.
Yeah. So on the front, you got to use a screen that small. So just imagine dialing on that. You hated the SE. Now I think the SE screen. SE might have been bigger.
I had love.
So when you want to use your phone for real, you got to keep unfolding it all day. It's like to me the whole point. I'm
not going to dial the phone. I'm not going to dial opening it up. It should have a relatively decent sized keypad for it to make a phone call.
Mike, you hated making phone calls on the SE. You hated
Because it
that
was
phone.
too
You hated
small.
Mike. So
That's a
the
tall
screen,
phone.
Mike. The screen on this phone.
George,
all
sit
you're
back.
getting is
Enjoy
bezel. All you're getting is bezel. The top is huge. The bottom bezel was huge, and that little screen was a little section. Because basically, they're saying don't ever use this part because
now Mike,
you know what I
you
mean?
know, I don't usually agree with Will, but I agree with him 100% on this one.
It's terrible. Like you might as well get a Note 9 and just have the screen big all the time. What is that? What is the size of that screen? Like an inch bigger than the Note? Something like that. 7, right, George?
Yeah.
It's like an inch bigger, probably not even a whole inch bigger than the Note. Like they're just pushing the foldable phone because it can fold. Like it ain't like it opens up to the size of a 11-inch tablet. Like it's just opening up and it creates problems. You look at what's happening to it. The phone ain't even out yet. And they did say that the phones that I think most of the review units that they got didn't have like packages. I don't think on the outside that said it. It did have like a little small
and
section.
it did not have the Note
That said, but the ones that they're shipping are gonna say it. But
exactly.
Still, it doesn't matter because it's still gonna come off because if you got to keep folding and unfolding and putting it in and out of your pocket and touching it, it's gonna come off.
Well, the guy at I think it was CNET said he's unfolded it and closed it 100 times and it's still fine. But 100 times isn't much. Let's face it.
But wait, he's folded it and unfolded it after this happened, or you know what I mean?
Well, since he's got,
I'm sure he's probably treating it.
I'm sure
He's probably treating it a little nicer than the average person is going to treat it when they get it, because now,
everybody's.
I don't know. To me, the phone is for $2,000 is way too fragile, and that front screen is trash. It's not worth it. It's not.
Wait a minute. Michael West says here it's new tech should give it a chance, and I agree with Michael West.
Yeah, but Mike, not the technology is nice. The folding thing is nice, but on a phone, do we really need that? Like they can put that into something else. Then the technology of it folding.
Wait. What did you just say? What did you just say?
The technology of it, the fact that it can fold, is fine.
Okay,
but you don't have to apply that. You don't have to apply that to a phone. Apply it to something else. Like you don't got to put that in a phone.
What do you want them to do? What do you want them to do with this phone? What more you want to do? Again, it is a block. It's a slab. It's been the same forever.
Mike, listen. So wait, when the fold opens up, right? When you open up the phone, what is it doing different? What are you doing different with it that you can't do with it now?
What are you doing different?
Yeah, that you can't do with the phone now. What are you doing different? The same apps, it has nothing extra. You're still using the same Android apps that you get in the Play Store on your slab.
You know what? I'm just going to say something.
Mike, you're a OnePlus lover. For 4 times the price of a OnePlus.
I understand that.
And it's doing the same thing.
Few things are going on here, okay? The one word I've been hearing in the last few hours before the show was beta tester. And is that apple juice you're drinking?
Of course, but
noted. Everybody, he's drinking
AirPods. He's drinking AirPods just like I am.
Okay,
but Mike, listen, you're not really. You can't be. All right, we know Samsung put the phone out for $2,000, and we're all going to be like, yeah, you're just testing it because it's first gen. But for $2,000, even if it was $1,400. You still shouldn't be getting something that's going to be trash just because it's first. It's the first one. Don't put it out. That's like Apple said, we're not releasing the AirPower. Listen, Mike.
What do you want them to do?
Hold on, Mike. Hold on.
Throw the phone away and do what? What? Another boring design. We can't even figure out how to get the fingerprint sensor to work right. So let's go get a folding phone.
Listen, people chewed Apple up 3 weeks ago because the AirPower got canceled when Apple said this doesn't meet our standard. Samsung knew this phone was trash and still is shipping it.
Well,
they knew it was trash.
You can't say Samsung knew this phone was trash.
No, they didn't know it was trash.
George, no.
No, they didn't.
There's no way, George.
Let's go back to the Note 7. They knew they didn't know that.
George, Samsung has had batteries exploding in their phone.
That's true.
They knew that this phone was trash. Maybe they didn't know.
No, I totally disagree with you there.
I think that's surprising.
They would be insane to charge a $2,000 phone and know it's trash and put it out. They did not know it.
They don't know. Listen, they don't think a lot of people are going to buy it. So they're like, all right, if we sell 3,000 of these,
because of the Note 7, they know the hit they were going to take if it was trash, and it is trash, but they did not know that.
George, they're not even taking a hit now because everybody's making excuses for it.
No,
everybody's like they removed the screen protector.
Anthony,
maybe
what
the one guy said,
right.
the one guy said, maybe I put clay on the back of it and the clay debris got under it. Like they're making excuses.
Listen, Anthony on My Project 13 was right. He says this tech will get better, but going to take some time. As YouTubers, we need to support the future of this tech, but not ignore that when a companies fail, they need to take responsibility and admit it, which they did. Okay.
Man, and they will.
There's no way in the world I believe that they knew it's trash and put it out there for $2,000.
They knew that the phone had issues. There's no way that the phone went through quality control and people didn't see the phone failing. Samsung probably said, you know what? We already had our event. We don't want to end up like Apple. We got to put it out.
There have been a number of people that said there had to be some voices in the company that said do not put it out, and they decided to put it out.
We're going to deal with it later. Apple was like, we're not going to put it out at all. And people are like, why? It's just a mat. But their mat was charging 3 things and you could put them anywhere. It's the same thing. They were making something that hasn't been done. There's no mat that you can drop.
That's true. And at least you got to give Apple credit for swallowing the pill and saying, okay, we can't do it.
We're just going to take this loss and not put it out. And then people are like, well, the AirPods are the same because the AirPods were supposed to launch before. But they took that loss. They took that on the chin. Samsung is like, we just going to put this out anyway. And the couple people that buy it, we'll just replace it or fix it and put warnings on the box. You can't do
this. Michael West is addressing you specifically in the comments.
That's crazy.
Buy it and find out, dude. Unbox Therapy just did a video unfolding it 1,000 times and it worked fine. So I still don't think.
But how long has he had his phone? It's not about unfolding it. Even if you have the phone for a month and that happens to it, it's too.
And both,
but I still think unfolding it 1,000 times says something, you know.
But but that's unfolding it. Nobody's gonna sit there and just keep unfolding the phone. You're gonna take it, put it in your pocket, put it down.
Well, that's true.
You might put it in a room where it's humid. The screen.
Yeah, I agree with Project 13. He doesn't think Samsung wants to go through another backlash like they did on the Note 7.
Exactly. I agree.
Okay. But the Note 7 snuck up on. They had no idea.
If they don't want to, they won't release the phone. Because this phone has all kinds of issues.
So let's go back for a second, Will. Let me just try and go back to what I'm trying to make a point here. What do you want these phone carriers to do? Every phone that's come out for the last 3 years have been a minuscule of a thing. Now I got to give it to Nokia. They tried 5 cameras, but still, it's still a candy bar phone. Here comes Samsung. We're going to try and make a folding phone. Look, bold. And I'm going to also say this. I just saw John Renninger sit with my Unbox Therapy, and they both admit, you know what? They didn't want to pick up their iPads. They said they were getting more use out of that folding phone than actually picking up the iPad.
That says something. That says something.
They both said there's innovation. They're trying. They both are, and I agree with them. They were saying something I said months ago. These phones are getting boring, and they just keep on coming out with the same damn phone with a little bit of oomph. Okay. Now now the fingerprint sensor is in here, and we all going to admit fingerprint sensors back here when they first came out were trash at first, and all of a sudden they figured out real quick enough to make it into these cheaper phones that have a fingerprint sensor work. They're going to get this fixed, and they're going to get the folding fixed, and they're going to make it so. Calm down, Mike. Okay, Mom, I'm fine. Blame it on Will.
Hey, Mike, when you're right, you're right.
Nah, I mean, they'll get it to work.
You got 2 YouTubers.
Right, they're gonna get it to work later. Mike,
2 people who are on Apple Juice themselves.
Right, listen, Mike, hold on, Mike.
And you know John Renninger loves Apple.
Mike, do you believe them?
Yes, I do.
Mike, hold on. Rettinger, that's the same guy who's like, 1 week he's like, I'm leaving Apple and going to the S10. Then tomorrow,
yes, he did.
I get back to my iPhone. Come on, you really think
keep in mind, Will, since he made that video, he's probably made 4 or 5 videos praising Apple. Which
what I'm saying is, Mike, you think that he's like, I'm not going to use my iPad and I'm going to use basically an Android phone with a bigger screen. That's all you're doing. You're using it. It's just a phone.
Michael West says, I see great uses for this phone. It would work great where I work at. See, there are people who don't think the way you think, Will.
I don't know. I can't see it. That's crazy. I would never buy one.
You see what Carol said, Will?
Mm-hmm. I just rat you out. You're in trouble now. Wait till mom comes down and see you.
That's right.
I don't know. I think Samsung is something. They're not going to get the backlash they got for the new, because it's not going to be as widespread. As many people aren't going to buy the phone. So it's
not going to hurt anybody.
We know about it, but it's not like the new. It's not on the news a lot. You know, we know it's on CNBC or it might have been on CNN, but it's not a big story. It's tech. It's just on YouTube and in the tech world.
George, tell the audience and tell Will what you said to me before Will got on. We were just connecting, right? And you say I look tired, and what else did I look?
Oh, I because I know you've been doing so much work this week. I said you look tired, but you also look very relaxed, and you look healthy, relaxed.
Thank you, George. There, mom. I'm healthy and relaxed. A term I never heard before, courtesy of George. But thanks to Will, my blood pressure is through the roof right now.
It's because Mike, you're
he don't want to understand that Mike, we gotta have a folding phone. Look, you wouldn't even want how about the ZTE phone? Well, I get the ZTE phone, give it to you. You know, the one that folds. You got
the Axon M. The Axon M.
Yeah.
The one. Okay, that one. Yeah, it folded. So what's wrong with it?
Well, it did have a screen issue. Okay, I'll give them that much. You know.
But that was like a different thing. It was 2 separate screens.
Oh, Michael West tried to order it, but it was sold out.
Yeah, I saw. And then what was the other thing?
Carol Rowdy is good.
I don't know. I think Samsung is going to get a pass. If I was them, I wouldn't release
it. But they're not getting a pass. Everybody in this world is making a video about it.
People are making excuses for the phone, man. Watch.
Okay, what excuses are they making? You got to back it up.
They're telling you because lint got under the thing, or you know what I mean? Everybody's like, just like you just said, the guy's like, but I folded it 1,000 times open and it's still working. People had the phone for 2 days and it's breaking.
But not the people who folded it 1,000 times. That's the point. They're not all breaking. And it's nothing like the Note 7.
Yeah, but all right. So we're gonna see in 2 months. We're gonna see how many people come out.
Yes, I agree.
About the phone.
Right. It's only been a few days.
When people are really using the phone, because just like we know, the YouTube people get the phone for a week and change it, and you know what I mean. They're gonna baby the phone.
I can't believe
they know it's breaking. Listen. I bet you the moment that whoever came out and said their phone broke, and they told Samsung put out a press release to all those people who got the phone and said, "Oh, make sure you don't remove the thing. Don't do this. Don't put the phone in a hot room," or you know what I mean. If I
had to bet on one person who is not going to baby the phone, it would be Lou of Unbox Therapy. You're talking about a guy who took a phone and used it as a hockey puck in a game. Okay.
I can't wait for Jerry. I can't believe Jerry.
They're not gonna. Mike, they're not gonna send him the phone. Do you really think they would send him the phone?
He'll buy it. He'll buy it.
Yeah, but so look, they're not gonna send it to him. He's gonna have to buy it.
Yeah.
The Samsung phones, he got them.
I agree, Michael West. I agree with you.
The S10 and all those, he got them first. He's not gonna get this one first. They don't want you to see that the phone is fragile. The phone is too fragile, man, for $2,000. No way. We're gonna see
Android Stud is saying, forget the fold, you guys. Up $2,000 and late with those are AirPods. You need the Galaxy Buds. Okay, he's kind of moving around a lot for me there.
You guys are.
George, give a shout out to some of these people here. Who we got here? I see Jay in the room.
Okay, we've got Anthony from My Project 13, and we've got Rishi from Alta Tech. We've got Sixto in the room. We've got Big Dog in the house. We've got Michael West. And Michael, thank you for being so talkative tonight and typing stuff in. And we've got Mom. Oh, yeah. And by the way, your mother is asking, what are you guys drinking tonight? Jack Daniels for me.
I don't drink
coffee. I got coffee and water.
I got
apple juice. Yeah.
Who else is in here? Leo, of course, Android Stud is in here. Who did I miss? Did I miss anybody? Oh, and Jay Johnson is in here.
George.
Who was on the broadcast last week, right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. All right. If I missed anybody, I'm sorry. Mike will pick it up later.
Serrano was in here. I saw him in here.
That's right, Serrano. Okay, I
saw Serrano. I'm scrolling back up. 6.
I said hello to Serrano. I'm an old man.
Hey, where's is Nigel here? Where's Nigel?
Nah,
Nigel is not here.
Is he all right?
Well, he's been contacting me all day like he usually does, but not as much as usual today. Oh, okay. No, he couldn't make it tonight. I forgot. He had to go to his. Nigel went to his parents for Easter weekend.
Okay.
Phone Tech at Work is here, and George
Alan is here.
George, you got to promote your super chat.
Oh yeah, okay. Super chat is wide open, folks. For all those who want to donate and help the old man out, feel free. You know.
George is definitely not in YouTube for the money.
That's true. Not yet, let's say. Someday, hopefully.
So yeah.
See, the best thing about being 74 years old and healthier than you've ever been in your life, I expect to still be here 20 years from now, and I mean that. So check me on that.
Let's see here.
Okay, are we done with this topic or not?
I heard too many.
Oh yeah.
I heard too many complaints about the Galaxy Buds when you're making a phone call, so I can't do it.
All right, now let's go on to the next topic, because this is the one that to me was more interesting. And I made up this topic. There's no article on this. But our next topic is this a discussion, and we kind of got into it a little already, about the big reviewers and their honesty or not when presenting products. Now, it seems, I think this is one Will and I agree on. This is how I see things. I'll name a couple. MKBHD, Marquise Brownlee, Lou, Unbox Therapy. These are two guys, and a whole bunch of others. Jaime Rivera, Pocket Now. These are three guys who, by my standards and by what I've been watching, and I've been following Marquise for 6 years and the others at least 5 years. I trust these guys. I generally believe what they tell me is their truthful opinions. I have heard nothing from any of the three of them for me to ever think somebody's paying them off and they're being and they're telling what they're saying what they're told to say about their product. I have seen nothing to make me indicate that. But right now in America, I don't know about anywhere else, we are in a culture where if anybody accuses you, you are automatically guilty. Well, not with George, you're not. If you want to think somebody's guilty, show me some proof. A whole bunch of small YouTubers like me saying, well, these guys are on the take. These guys are just telling them what the company said. Well, where's the proof? Well, I'm supposed to think they're on the take because somebody says so? Not one person has shown me 1 ounce of proof that these guys are doing anything but giving their honest opinion. So I still trust MKHPHD. I still trust Unbox Therapy. I still trust Jaime Rivera. I still trust Michael Fisher. Prove to me I'm wrong.
They threw out Flossie.
And of course I trust. Who doesn't trust Flossie?
George, it's like, I don't know. Everybody tore MKBHD up for the LG thing, like we were talking about earlier, a little while ago.
But it's not just that. It's like this week
right.
It's become open.
Well, you know
YouTube, and I don't see the point.
What they're saying is, and I understand it from one perspective. They're saying like they're not, when they, like, let's say MKBHD, when he started with the phone, which I can't remember everything he said, but
started with the LG G8
no,
last week.
I'm saying when he started with the folding phone, the Samsung, right? I can't remember if he said you shouldn't buy it, or
time out. You people got me out. I gotta take my hoodie off now.
Or if he,
Will, the jacket's coming off, man. You better watch what you're doing, man.
That's all right. My gloves are out in the garage. You're not in here.
Wait, Mike, you saw his video? I don't remember if he was like in the beginning, like people shouldn't buy it or this front screen is bad. You know what I mean? I don't remember him. I can't remember what he said, but I think people are saying they're not telling you nothing negative about the phone. They're just telling you, oh, the phone folds great, and the big screen is so big, and you can do a lot of things.
About the crease.
Hold on. Just like you said that the guy was like, I opened it and folded it 1,000 times or whatever. It didn't break, and I can do so many things with it. But they're not telling you like, well, the front screen is pretty much pointless, or the bezels are.
Maybe they don't think so. Maybe they don't think so.
George, hold on. For $2,000, remember, $2,000. They're not buying theirs. They got theirs free.
That's true.
So they're not telling you that the front screen has terrible bezels or that the front screen is trash. There's no headphone jack.
There have been already guys that said the front screen bezels were just way too big.
I'm just telling you in general, huh? They said the what? The bezels. Okay. I'm telling you why people are hating them. They're saying that they're just showing you like the good points of the phone so that you can think that it's good, and that's it. They're not being critical of the phone until now, which I guess I don't know if people thought it was a surprise, like that they would come out and be like, yeah, my phone broke, or this is what's wrong with it, which I guess you can say they got some of their credibility back if the people are saying that their opinions aren't valid, or they're just influencers, or the media, or whatever they want to call them. So I mean, I can see it both ways. Like they are kind of.
Here's what I think happened with the phone. I think so many YouTubers wanted to be successful that they were leaning in that direction, and they were wrong. They human, they screw up like everybody else.
Yeah, but what they're saying is, in the beginning, it's like they're just pushing it like a commercial.
You should never say "in the beginning" in front of me, because the first thing I think of, God created the heaven and the earth.
I was going to go with that. I was with you on that, George.
It's like when they present the phone, they make it like a commercial for Samsung. It's like, this phone does this, it does that. They're not telling you the front screen ain't good, or they're not giving you no negatives. They might give them to you later at the end, or make it kind of like some of the things they're like dismissive of the negatives, because they're like, but you are getting a unfolding screen, and it has this continuity mode where you can open the app and it'll continue in the middle of the, on the big screen. So I see what they're saying with that, but there's other points where I'm like, I agree with what Marcus said about the G8. You know what I mean? But in the end, it kind of sounded like a commercial for Samsung, because he was telling you like, why would you buy the G8 when you can buy the S10e for $750, and LG is
that's why I think he was giving an honest opinion.
But I agree with him there. But I also can understand why people say they were promoting the Fold like it was the perfect phone. You know what I mean?
They were all leaning in favor of the Fold. They were wrong.
Yeah, they were. But that's why people are saying, are they being honest, and can you really trust their opinion? Now, I wonder if
Chris Porter just put in the comments, trust no YouTuber. They give off biased opinions. So you're asking Mike and Will and I not to trust ourselves? I mean, come on.
Now wait.
We're YouTubers.
George, what do you think if, let's say, these phones didn't break, right? What do you think the percentage of not negative review, like, you know what I mean? Do you think if MKBHD, if his phone didn't break and he gave his review in 2-3 weeks, what do you think he would have said in his review? Do you think he would have?
I think overall you're right. I think the big YouTubers, if they didn't have problems, would have made good reviews in 3 or 4 weeks. But I also think they were all hoping this was going to be a success. That's going to color people's opinions. And I don't see anything wrong with them hoping that. That doesn't stop them from giving their honest opinion. I'm always rooting for Google, but I can still tell.
It's kind of like what he just said. Then you shouldn't trust none of them. because they're biased then because they want it to succeed. You need somebody who's
want to succeed. Does that automatically mean I'm biased?
Because listen to me. Listen. Yeah, it is because if you wanted to succeed, you're gonna try to look over the faults of the phone. If you're saying that they were gonna give a generally positive review of the phone, because they are not you, George. George, not you. Because all right, George, listen. When Marcus showed that phone, the first thing he should have said was, "This front screen, whatever. This front screen is trash." He should have said that. He shouldn't have been like, "Oh, the Fold is so great. Listen to the sound. It's got magnets."
Yeah, he loves the sound.
He should have said, "This front screen is trash. There's no headphone jack. This notch is asymmetrical," or whatever they be saying. He should have said all that first. He should have been like, "They're not going to update it, but the Fold is nice. And it's $2,000. He should have been like, and it's $2,000, and it's only an inch bigger than your Note 9, and there's no S Pen." Instead of saying the phone folds great, oh, look at the screen, look at the design. He should have just been like, it's not worth it, but it looks nice in the fold.
Just like you're saying they're biased because they wanted to succeed, you'd be biased because you don't want it to succeed.
But George, I'm not. But I'm saying that's what the people who are complaining about him, that's what they're saying. And that's, if you think about it, that's what they should have said. He should have been like, the phone looks nice, but let's be practical. The front screen is trash. You know what I mean? This is 4 times more than a
maybe he doesn't. You and I do not like the front screen, but he doesn't seem to think it's trash. Why can't he have a different opinion than you?
George,
he thinks I'm not allowed to disagree with you.
Listen, George, he thinks it's trash. He does. He won't tell you, but you can tell. George, you can tell. George, wait, George. As often as he switches phones, right, or he reviews phones, he'll tell you in his video, he's like, I always keep my Apple Watch and I always keep a OnePlus because my Pixel wasn't working right. If he thought, you know what I mean? If he thought that whatever phone he said was so great, he would switch to it.
How do you know?
He doesn't switch to the phones that he's telling you are so great or he's pushing you to buy, because he tells you in the other videos later, they'll be like, what are you using? I'm using a OnePlus and an iPhone.
In the history that I have followed Marquez, when he really likes a phone, he ends up with that as his daily driver.
Yes, and that's what that's
for the week. He's been using a OnePlus 6.
Yeah,
a OnePlus 6 and an iPhone. But he'll tell you in his video that the Galaxy Fold is spectacular.
He did do a video where he goes back and forth. He had to he's torn between the Pixel 3
and the OnePlus.
And the OnePlus.
And then he said the Pixel is less reliable and it's doing whatever. It's not as smooth. So I went to OnePlus. So what everybody who's complaining about them this week wants them to do is stop cheerleading for the phone. Just come out and be like, the front screen isn't no good. Because George, if me and you can say it in the thing, and I haven't reviewed nowhere near as many phones or seen as many phones as him, he knows the same thing we're saying, that it's not worth it. He did come out on Twitter. He came out on Twitter later.
Hey, somebody in the room, go get Marquez and tell him to come on in. I'll give him the link.
George,
go get Marquez.
George, he came on.
Hear me say it's trash because I don't do that.
Okay, well, he didn't have to say it was trash, but he could say this screen isn't worth the $2,000. He did post on Twitter. I don't know if it was after it broke or right before he posted the video about it breaking. He was like, nobody should really buy this phone. So when he did his video, that should have been the first thing he said. Nobody should buy this phone instead of making it sound
after he screwed up the phone.
Okay, so that's why you just proved my point.
You know, I need to give you guys both boxing gloves.
George, that's why people are saying you can't trust them, because he should have said that first. Before his phone broke, when he was opening and closing it, he should have said, this $2,000 phone ain't worth it. Because George, this $2,000 phone ain't worth it because you're not getting nothing more than what you're getting on a Galaxy S10e. You're getting the same software, the same phone, but it's folding open, but it's 3 times the cost. So he should have said that first. That's why people are saying you can't trust them, because unless you come out and just tell you flat out, like, this phone ain't worth it, and then tell me it's nice that it folds.
That's fine with me. Right now, I still trust them. You were agreeing with me before the broadcast that you thought they were bad.
No. I trust them.
George, that's the apple juice talking.
Different. Nah, George, it depends. I trust them. If he's doing a,
I don't know. It depends.
If he's if he's doing what he calls first impressions or a review of a phone, and it's real fast, and he's gonna show me a lot of footage and stuff, and he'll be like, "Yeah, this is why this phone is good, and this is why." I agreed with his opinion there, but sometimes they do come out, and like with this phone, because this is, like Mike said, this is a new thing. So with all the other phones, there was nothing really for him to criticize. You know what I mean? Because all the phones look the same. There's nothing new about it. But this phone was $2,000, and he should come out and be like, this front screen is not up to $2,000 standards, because most of the time your phone's going to be closed because you got to use two hands. You know what I mean? He didn't say that. When he's doing his little review, I'll trust him on that, because I'm not coming to him for a whole bunch of details or something. I'll watch your channel or somebody else for that. But like for that little part, all right. But for this, they're right. They sugarcoat the phone in the beginning because they got it for free, and they're highlighting all the nice parts of it. They highlighted all the nice parts. George, he said nothing.
Maybe I'm more trusting than you. I don't think I haven't seen any of those guys.
Nothing about that front screen. He did. They all do it. They all do it when they first get the whatever the new thing is.
We disagree.
Yeah, Mike, what do you think? You're not saying nothing.
I'm just kicking back. I'm talking to people.
Yeah, Mike is smiling, enjoying us.
You're back to the crux of the question. Discussion of the big reviewers and their honesty or not when presenting products, specifically regarding the Fold and the LG G8. Okay. Yeah, I think they're telling us. I believe they're going to tell us that. But when we talk big YouTubers, for me, and I think I said this to you, Will, I watch it for entertainment value. That's all.
Yeah, you watch it
for entertainment value. I'm not going to base my decision on for me personally, or does this look interesting to worth investing my money and time?
Okay, so
we get for the channel.
We look at this differently. I do not watch Marquez, Lou, Michael Fisher, Jaime for entertainment value. I watch as many of them as I can, trying to pick up what I think is really valuable in the phone. Do I want to spend my money on this? I couldn't do that just watching Marquez or just watching Lou or just watching Jaime. And then I'm going to watch Jay Williams. And I'm probably going to watch you if you show me something. And I'm going to watch I'm going to watch Serrano. That's when I decide.
But
they're part of how I decide whether or not I want
Right. But I say entertainment because they come out with a slick 10-minute video.
Yes.
That has all the pretty looks and all the the fades and all that stuff, and that's where I mean entertainment, not
you're right.
Not for decision making though too, but when I really want to get to the crux of the matter to hear how it is. Your camera comparisons are great, and I'm not here to. I'm just saying you're one of the few that take two cameras and like two phones with the cameras and show the differences in that stuff. Well, I'm just saying, that's maybe my go-to guy. I might go to somebody else to see about the software. Munchie's videos are very interesting as far as what you can do on some of the phones.
Yeah, as far as side loading stuff. Yes.
Right. That's just to name a few. Just to name a few things.
So you do what I do. You go to big and small.
I do go big and small, but they don't really influence totally. It's got to be the device that's really grabbed my attention. Boy, I really want that. You know what I mean?
The reason I say they influence my combined big and small, they influence my decision totally because I've already been interested in the device probably from the day it came out.
Right.
Then I want to see, do I have a justification for spending my money? And that's what I use all of them for. And that's how I ended up getting the Nokia 9, which, by the way...
Did it get done?
Yeah, see, now it's working better than it was before, that's for sure.
Yeah. Your camera's going blurry. Can't make up its mind.
Oh, okay.
You're blurry. I don't know what happened. All of a sudden, you're real... Okay.
Okay, there I am. Anyway.
Yeah, all of a sudden it was blurry.
They have fixed the fingerprint sensor to some degree. See, it's working.
Yeah.
It's a miracle.
Well, I expect an update video.
All right,
absolutely.
Look what Android Stud said. The big YouTubers are jaded. They have an opinion before they get the device. It's a shame. He said they should use it first.
I agree with you, Leo. You're probably right. They do have an opinion before they get the device, and that's probably true. But I think that's kind of human, isn't it? And of course they're jaded.
But wait.
To add to that, wait a minute. That group of those YouTubers he's talking about, they have the inside track. They do this day in and day out. They're not a guy going 9 to 5 working somewhere. They're not like a guy like Andrew Stud that had to go and edit video at 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
So they're talking to their peers. They're talking to their core group of people. You know what I mean? They're talking shop. They already know they get the inside track. So yes, I think their opinions are jaded as he
makes sense.
Right. And going back to wait, real quick.
Go ahead.
Chris Porter said, "Trust no YouTuber. They give off biased opinions." And maybe pause for a second and think about something. And this is just me. Okay. I tend to lean towards cleaner stock Android. I don't really go into the features like a Samsung. How many Samsung devices I reviewed. I'm always getting Moto phones. I like the Nexus. I like the Pixels. So I'm always leaning towards that, I guess. You know what I mean? Yeah. So is my opinion already been, influenced? Because I want to show them, you know what I mean? To show what my preference is.
Right.
But I'm only trying to present in my mind, I'm trying to present the best enjoyment, I guess. Satisfaction.
The most honest.
What's that?
You're trying to present the most honest opinion you can give.
Right.
Now, here, Gary Brown says, Mr. Mobile has never let me down, 100% with me. So I'm not the only one that still trusts these guys. I still think these guys are giving a pretty honest opinion. Can they be a little biased? Yeah, but can any of us not be a little biased? No. Every time a OnePlus phone comes out, I'm already leaning towards it and rooting for it the day I buy it. That's just how it is. That's people.
Andrew Stud, you see his other comment? You pay to be a YouTuber just like you're paid to be a
he's saying you can't be biased. But
you can't not be a human being. And a human being is always going to lean one way or the other. It's impossible for a human being not to.
George, listen. They can lean. All right. MKBHD or Mr. Mobile.
I think they just lean.
George, they can lean towards wanting the phone to succeed and liking Samsung or whatever.
That doesn't make them honest.
George, but you can't overlook something like the screen being that small and that not, basically unusable for anything.
I don't think it bothered them that much, but there were a number of people who mentioned how big the freaking bezels were.
But George, that's like, I don't even want to use his video really as an example, but that's like when TechRant called out.
Is it bias or a person's opinion? Everybody is not bought. I agree 100%.
I don't know. It's like, but the same way.
When you get right down to it, I'm probably, and I'm the old guy here, you think about the opposite, but I'm probably just more trusting than you and Leo. And maybe that's how it should be.
But see, to me, it's not about trusting them. It's just that
I think it's totally about.
I don't go to any of them before I buy something. I'll go, just like I told you, I go to them and I'm like, if I want to see it first, I'll go to them because I know they're going to have it before anybody else. That's it.
But I don't opinion about what they say. No, not till I see what Mike says about it, and what Jay Will says about it, and what Rishi says about it, and what Serrano says about it, and what Alan from Phone Tech at Work, and what Forbes says about it, and these combine all of that. Then I'll say.
So George, that's the thing.
All right, George, Leo, go ahead, insult me, you sucker.
If it's something like this new technology thing that they came with Samsung, or when Marcus had the G8, when he was just like
that's when
gestures. When he said the gestures weren't
the
no good or whatever. He said something, right? He said something bad about that phone. But this Samsung phone, he didn't say nothing, like, you know what I mean? I'm pretty sure he didn't say nothing bad about the phone. So everybody's like,
you can see the fold in the middle.
So everybody's like, can you really trust their opinion? Because if he could say the gestures were bad, right, and he didn't like them, but somebody like Forbes was able to get him to work a couple times. You know what I mean? Forbes was like, they're not that bad.
Flossie drove him crazy, remember? Don't forget.
Flossie hated him. Yeah. So on this Galaxy phone, Marcus was just like, this phone is great. That's basically what he said.
He didn't say that.
That's basically what he said, George. That's basically what his video was. This phone is great. It was like a commercial for the phone.
I'm sorry.
It was like a commercial. I'm gonna watch it again. And see if he said anything bad. But I don't remember nothing bad coming out of it. I don't remember him saying nothing bad.
No, I agree. There was nothing really bad that came out of it. I agree.
So okay, so listen, George. Now, just like with the G8, he didn't trash the G8, but he wasn't too positive on it either.
He said that's why jack of all trades, master of none.
And he said the gestures aren't no good, and the software is stale or whatever, however he put it. So
it was kind of like the G7 all over again.
It's stale. So that's why.
Okay, so you agree?
That's why people don't trust him. That's why they're saying that he was like a cheerleader. But I don't go to him for that, so I don't really care.
If you don't trust him, you're losing out. You're losing.
No, but George, I can watch him. I can watch him all day, and he makes good videos. But just like you said, if I want to see the phone first, I'll go to him or I'll go to Mr. Mobile. And like what's his name said, Mr. Mobile to me is with his thing is a little more. Like he'll tell you more like about the negatives of the phone.
Details in it. Yeah, Mark.
Yeah, like he puts
the phone. Mr. Mobile does.
Yeah, he has more details. Like
the four people we've named today, who's the most jaded? I would say it's probably Michael Fisher, and that's probably how it should be. But he's been doing this a very long time.
But yeah, I don't know. Samsung got a decision to make with that phone. I wouldn't put that out, but they will.
One thing.
Joseph Forbes views. He trashed the G8. Now you can't discuss any LG.
George, but he didn't trash the G8 though. No, he didn't trash it.
But everybody is about it.
Every year though.
Joseph, I love you. I won't discuss LG.
George, since I started like watching like that, the G6 they made it an underdog. The G7 they made it. It's always going to be an underdog, quote unquote, to Samsung because LG doesn't even advertise their own stuff. Like you know what I mean? LG had some
underdog to Huawei.
LG had some issues, but he didn't trash it. He said it's a good phone, but he said, "Why would you pick this?" Hold on, Mike. He said, "Why would you pick this phone over the S10e, which is $80 cheaper, not the sale price that you can find it on probably 3 weeks after he made his video?"
Right.
He's saying this $80 cheaper. Both the phones got a wide angle camera. The only thing that phone had was a DAC.
Yes.
That's the only thing it had over the S10e.
Gary Brown is saying he also said it was a good phone, which he did.
And he said this is a good phone.
And I agree with
him. He didn't trash it at all. He just said, why would you pick this over the Samsung phone?
So, Joseph, I guess we've decided you're the Samsung Knights of LG.
He didn't try.
We got a color better name. I don't know. LG Rebel. LG Rebel.
San Antonio, I'll probably never leave.
He trashed the phone. This S10e is not better. He didn't trash it though. He said in the video it's a solid phone, but it's $80 cheap. It's $80 more than the S10. So why would you buy it when the wide angle camera, which was LG's thing, is everywhere now? The wide angle camera was a selling point of the phone.
Okay, now
everybody
is chiming in. The G8 is a solid phone, but LG doesn't support their devices. All right, Joseph's going to beat you up.
The V40 is still on Oreo. Mike, you got your update, right?
Oh yeah, sure, and hell froze over too.
Exactly.
Oh man. Yeah, like I don't
All right,
think he I don't think he crashed that
I think
phone at all.
I think we're proving just in the comments here that we all have preferences that we lean towards, like Joseph, like me,
Forbes.
like
Wait.
Mike.
Hold on. Forbes said, "How is 619 more than 780?" It's not, because
No,
T-Mobile got it on sale. LG
right.
MSRP'd the phone for what, 829?
And
That's
when
what he's
Marquez
talking
made this
about.
video, T-Mobile did not have it for 619 yet.
Nobody had a price. B&H
Fact.
didn't have it for 700 yet, and
The only
MKBHD was not gonna.
was what LG announced.
Yeah, he was going off of 829. That was the price they put it out at.
Tomorrow,
Tomorrow, LG is going to be giving you a television with it. So, of course, it's going to look great. Go buy it now.
Babysitting to boot. And a bag of popcorn.
And they'll pay your Netflix. They're going to give you Disney Plus with the phone. So, of course, it's going to be
Yeah.
But for their LG always does that. They'll put out a phone. Everybody will be like, "Oh, it looks good." Until you get to the price where you see the 829 or 875, they're crazy.
All right. Now you want a bigger smack in the face?
Right.
I know what I'm about to say here on Swappa right now. For the Sprint model on Swappa, the LG G8 has one of them going for $395. New in the box.
Okay. What phone, Mike? Mike, what phone?
G8.
Oh, wow. Dang.
That's way down there, boy.
Somebody got to buy one, get one, and they're just selling it. Well, somebody's gonna pick it up. That's a good deal for that price. For that price,
yeah.
I'll even use the hand gesture.
You would give it a try at that price, right?
Yeah, cheap. Yeah. I'll use the hand gestures. They don't even put a head. They should at least give you a headphone jack. If you're gonna push the jack, put a headphone jack. I mean, a headphone thing in the box. Give some headphones.
Everybody agrees you can't come close to beating that DAC.
Yeah, so they should push some earbuds in there or something. You just get a charger.
So are we done with this?
The phone costs $819.99 everywhere but T-Mobile. Okay.
And B&H. I think B&H is $700.
Okay.
I think.
I just want to let
MKBHD ain't gonna tell nobody to buy it for $700 because most people don't pay flat out for their phone anyway.
It's true. All right, Mike's trying to say something.
Okay, is this segment over? I'm just asking because I got one smart ass remark. I got one smart ass remark on this.
Here we go.
I got one more thing to say.
Go ahead.
As far as the fold thing,
you lost the pun.
One YouTuber is making fun of Samsung over it and laughing about it, and generally seems to be having a gleeful time about, okay, people screwed up. This is just my opinion. But should a born-again Christian be glad that people screwed up? I don't think so. Just my opinion.
Yeah, I guess they shouldn't be happy, but
Well, there was in that one piece I mentioned about,
and then there's making fun of them. There's a big difference in my opinion. And if I'm the person that's literally supposed to love everybody, I'm not going to laugh at their misfortune. That's just how I see it.
No. And but I think though the culture in this YouTube, off YouTube, but dealing with YouTube, spun itself into this, your stuff is trash, mine's superior kind of mentality, right?
I think a lot of what goes on in YouTube is a lot of what people say goes on in the net and on Facebook and on Twitter. It's like, because you're not in front of me, you won't say that. And I won't say anything unless I would say it in front of you. But if I say it in front of you and you don't like it, my attitude is still going to be, well, let's see what you can do about it. Period. So I'm not going to say nothing on YouTube that I won't say in front of a person's face. Period.
Gary Brown says Samsung should get credit for trying, and they should. That was something new. And Samsung, that's what they do, though. Samsung always tries the new thing. They always put themselves out there. They did it with the Newts. They always do it.
Hey, guys, I just want to let you know on B&H, $699.99 for the LG.
Okay, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
See, theirs is cheap. I think
All right, Gary.
AT&T is like $8.
So good point. Gary and Mark, I think you guys in for it. Just wanted you to know that.
Forget trying. Only one gets the trophy.
Oh man, Samsung will be back next year. They'll have the Galaxy.
What am I missing? What Leo's saying here?
Huh?
What am I missing about the trophy? I'm not getting.
He's saying that Samsung tried or whatever, but they lost. You know.
Oh, okay.
I guess that's what he's saying. Like they
I'm old. Okay.
Okay. I just want to say that this particular segment of the show was brought to you by New Mobile. The new Mobile G4 is coming out real soon. Check on Amazon. Okay, this segment was sponsored by that. Oh, I'm sorry, I wasn't supposed to say that.
You see how those YouTubers are? I guess I should say it was brought to you by Nokia, shouldn't you?
Yeah. There we go.
Yeah, I got a fingerprint sensor that works all of a sudden. I'm a happy man.
George, you see what Mark said? That's kind of what I was telling you. Samsung for putting it out for $2,000. I don't care if it's first gen or whatever.
I agree.
It work.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. The phone should be perfect for 2,000. That's true. 100%.
That's too much money.
Yeah.
I give them credit for trying with the screen, but not for putting out a phone that don't work.
I've yet to pay $1,000 for a phone.
Yeah.
I've yet to pay $900 for a phone, for that matter.
Yeah. All right, George, where are we going next? I just want to keep talking about this. We could do this all day.
Okay, we're going to OnePlus. All right, I guess I'll take it. All right. We've got a story here from who's this from? Oh, Android Central. OnePlus breaks into the top 5 global brands in the premium category. Now, that's something I don't think anybody saw coming. But the story goes on. With flagships from Samsung and Huawei now crossing the $1,000 mark, there's an increased interest in an affordable flagship devices that offer similar hardware around the $600 price point. The latest data from Counterpoint Research reveals as much, with the likes of Oppo and OnePlus netting huge gains in the premium category. OnePlus in particular managed to break into the top 5 global brands in the premium category for the first time, following its ascension to the top 5 spot in the US. Strong sales of the OnePlus 6T accounted for the increase in market share, with China, India, and Western Europe driving 90% of its global shipments up. I'm not going to read the whole article, but I just think that is pretty cool for OnePlus to be recognized as a top 5 worldwide premium brand, especially when they're still under $600. Probably not very long, probably not another month, 2 months. But anyway, I just say kudos to OnePlus.
That they have here that phones selling for $400 and above are dubbed premium, and over the course of 2018, Oppo saw a massive 863% year-over-year. Increase in market share. 863.
100. That's a huge jump, baby.
Yeah. And it goes on and saying, I see here, Xiaomi 149% uptick.
And OnePlus second with a 209% increase. That's pretty good.
What interesting too is you see Apple for 2017 versus 2018. They lost 7%.
Yeah.
So those other guys gobbled up that 7% somehow.
Well, in China and India, they've been kicking Apple's butt, and it's showing. Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I'm not here to profess Apple's the end of the world, but for the first time that I think first time, I could be wrong, but it's they lost. That's sizable. 7% sizable.
Yeah, and I think it's all going to become a moot point as far as Apple and Samsung, because I think a year from now, Huawei will be looking down at both of them, even without selling phones in America, the way they're going. So.
Yeah. Yeah, and well,
Mike, did you see the comment? Nice aquarium in the background.
Yeah. I discovered. I will admit, YouTube's got these aquariums, and some of them play nice music, like background music. And there was one I had the fireplace last week, and some of them had like music or crackling sounds. So it was pretty cool. So I figured, yeah, why not?
Cool.
Yeah. But yeah, Huawei, I think, is going to take a bigger bite.
Huawei expects to pass Samsung. I'm expecting they're going to do the same thing, which will make them the #1 seller in the world. They already passed Apple. They're already #2. So, all right. Anyway, I just wanted to give OnePlus some credit for breaking into the top 5 global and premium category. So we can move on.
So George, who sponsored that segment?
Who do I have left?
I like that. Who do I have left?
we could say Moto. I still love my Moto phones.
Okay, yeah.
My Moto G7 Plus. All right. Will, you want to take the Sprint T-Mobile Sprint merger story?
Okay, hold on. Let me get to it, George.
Okay. All right.
My
age in a hurry doesn't matter.
This has been a while with nothing, right?
Yeah.
T-Mobile. Looks like the T-Mobile and Sprint merger isn't going to be too smooth. Wall Street Journal says that the Department of Justice is telling the carriers that their merger is unlikely to receive approval under its current structure. They're not really telling why they're not going to approve it the way it is, but
they give a hint.
Well, yeah, but they're not giving like what they're objecting to.
Specifically.
Like the Department of Justice isn't anyway. They said that the merger would create important efficiencies. Antitrust officials have qualms with the merger, according to one of the Wall Street Journal tipsters. The FCC is on record as having questions about both the claimed cost savings and their plans for wireless home broadband. Sprint and T-Mobile, of course, didn't make any comment on the leaks. And they said if this is true, it could signal big trouble for the merger. The networks hope to be done by July, after they first said they would be done by April.
Right.
If they got to make big changes to, I guess, their structure and everything with the merger, they don't know how much longer that's going to take, and if they're willing to agree to change it. So in the end, I don't think this is going to end up too good for Sprint.
Yeah, definitely not. Definitely not.
I actually know people who have Sprint, and I was telling them, like,
isn't it Sprint that has the it has the reason that T-Mobile wanted them in the first place?
They have the 2.5 band. They have the spectrum for 5G.
The spectrum. Yeah, isn't Sprint the one with all the spectrum, and that's the whole.
They got it, and T-Mobile wants it. That's one of the things they want to gobble them up for.
Yeah,
probably
the only thing.
Well, between that and T-Mobile's got 600. The 600 band. That seems like a low frequency one. It's supposed to be really good.
Yeah.
So
I'm reading what Rob from RP3 is saying. I'm not touching politics. Period. I never do.
Yeah. So how long has this been going? It's going a year now. It was like
this is over a year.
It was April 1st.
No, you're right. It is a year this month, I think. Yeah.
It was a year this month. Yeah. So and it really doesn't seem like it's not moving along.
Yeah. And a lot of the politicians don't trust that. They say how it's going to lower costs for people. A lot of the politicians think it's going to go the opposite way. So.
It is, though, because they're going to get rid of one of the, T-Mobile tried to say that it would keep the prices the same for like 2 years or something like that.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
And John Legier always keeps on coming on to Twitter and Facebook and posting, it's going to be the greatest thing going on. We're going to get this.
Now, in general, I generally have to say, John Legier usually backs up what he says. But in this case, my guess is he can't.
No, yeah, he's having trouble. I mean, I think, and I don't think he's, I think he's, trying. You know what I mean? It just, there's opposing forces here. You know what I mean?
But I think as far as keeping prices the same, or
nah,
I think it's something they may honestly be trying to do. I'm thinking it may not be possible, you know, especially with 5G coming up.
Mm-hmm.
When I saw the price of their TV thing, there's no way they're not keeping no prices down. They're gonna be just as expensive as everybody else if they get
yeah,
I don't think they'd have to be. They have an awful lot of R&D to do here, you know.
Yeah, that TV thing really surprised me how high it was.
Well, and the one that shocked me is Disney, because they're way undercutting everybody.
Yeah,
when it comes out.
Did you listen to that podcast?
Yeah, DirecTV is ridiculous.
Yeah,
Android Central podcast about the Disney thing.
Yes, it's going to be pretty phenomenal, and boy, you're going to get a lot for a little money.
Yeah, well, it really sounds to me it's the time they jump on it is when they first roll out.
Yeah, because they're going to raise the price,
and that's what end of the year, right?
They're going to November. They're going to raise the price, so you got to get it now. And
you got to get it as soon as it comes out. Yeah,
and hope that they keep you at that tier for a while before they.
Yeah, WillD is saying DirecTV is crazy now, way too high. Yeah, and I think they have just gone up and up and up and up and up. You know.
Now, are you referring to the old satellite dish?
Yeah, that's
no. He's talking about. He's talking about
DirecTV now.
DirecTV.
I was responding to Mark because he said, "Where was the outrage when AT&T bought Time Warner and messed up DirecTV with their prices?" Yeah, their prices are crazy on DirecTV now. Remember when it first came out, Mike? It was cheap, and now everybody.
Yep.
It's crazy. Their packages now is like cable.
And they're all going to raise this. Like YouTube just raised ours. Well, they're raising ours $11.
It was $10 for me.
Yeah, and YouTube TV. I mean, but they also gave us like 5, 6, 7 new channels. So it was okay with me, you know.
Yeah.
Gary, yes, so it's $70 for the rollout. How I understand. Go and listen to the podcast from Android Central last week, and it was very informative and very. They did talk about, though, there are certain
stuff they won't have, like there's Marvel
won't have right away for whatever reason. It seems like there's a lot of licensing and grievances still got to.
Yeah, and that stuff is tough because when you a lot of people complain, well, they don't even have the travel channel. Well, I think it took them a while to make that deal.
Right,
my guess.
Right. Well, didn't YouTube TV just get some new channels?
Yeah, they got the travel channel. They got HGTV. They got about 7 new channels, and channels that you would have expected them to have, but they probably had to make the deal, so it makes sense.
Right, right.
And what's Rob saying?
Oh, he just
Rob was saying they plan on locking the prices under $7 for the Disney stream as long as all their movies are averaging nearly $1 billion per movie. Okay, that makes some sense. So they're tying it to okay.
Yeah, and they did cover though too about like if they're going to right now the flux is do you make a movie and roll it out to your streaming service, but if you want to make a movie and get credibility and a potentially to go to an Oscar, you roll it to the theater. You know,
exactly.
You have to roll it to the theater.
It's got to go theater first. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so there was it was a really interesting conversation they had.
Yeah, the two ladies that we had on, they really knew their stuff inside out.
I want to. Okay, I just want to quickly say, Will pointing out, thumbs up this stream, get the word out, share today's stream, share all our streams on every Friday night. So
I'm going to be an old man, and if you don't share it, you can always sunny it. Okay, sorry.
There we go.
This stuff just comes out of me.
Mike, what do you think though? Like now, there's like a streaming service. Everybody's going to have just a streaming thing. It's
everybody and his brother.
I don't know. I guess it's good in a way, but it's kind of bad because you gotta pick and choose what to buy, and it gets expensive after a while. Like, you know what I mean? Like if you watch something on HBO and you buy theirs, I think theirs is $15 a month. And then if you want to watch Disney, that's $7 a month. And then if you want, you know what I mean? If you want Netflix for something else, it's crazy.
It is.
I was just thinking of us Good evening, folks. Welcome to the Friday Night Tech Talk streaming service. Only $10 a month.
Yeah, right. Yeah, like the prices. Because everybody, all the channels are just gonna make a streaming service and have one show on there that you're gonna want to watch, or
George, that's interesting. Like we have like in the middle of the show, we're gonna hold up banners, advertising. You know what I mean? And if you want to be advertised free, just donate to the channel.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
You see what Gary said? If you don't hit the thumbs up, George will tenderize your ribs. Gary, I only do that under a basketball net. And you do not want to be under a basketball net with me. Trust me.
Rocky in the meat market style. Yeah.
Okay. That's the only thing I don't like about the streaming thing. There's so many of them that you gotta,
And somebody wrote an article about that last week. It's like everybody and his brother has one,
Yeah, it's like you're gonna end up paying almost as much as cable to watch. Even if it's better because you can kind of pick and choose what you want to watch. But the prices of them are still expensive. Like $15 for HBO. I think Showtime is $10. Netflix is like what? I think it's 10 if you want like the lower one, but it's like 15 if you want the decent. It's expensive.
It's just the indecent otherwise.
It's just they're. I guess they figure you won't feel you'll forget about it because they're not hitting you all at one time.
That's what they're hoping.
Yeah. But,
All right, are we on for the next?
Yeah.
Mike, you want to take the apple juice?
Yeah. Well, it's a little bit of apple juice, a little bit of I don't know what you want to call Intel, but Intel drops out of the 5G modem business after Apple and Qualcomm's settlement, which I found is interesting. Why bail out? But anyway,
and they bailed out immediately.
Yeah. It says here, hours after Apple and Qualcomm settled their fight on Tuesday, which was Tuesday just passed.
The 16th.
Yeah. Okay. Was it then? All right. Announced that we'll be getting out of the business of the 5G modem chips, in which it was trying to compete with Qualcomm. Apple's partnership with Intel on modem chips, Qualcomm's bread and butter product, was a big part of the legal fight between Apple and Qualcomm. But Intel has had their trouble getting up to speed making the chips and said that they would not be available until 2020, which would have put iPhones behind other smartphones using Qualcomm's technology to race to the fastest wireless standard. In an announcement late Tuesday afternoon, Qualcomm said that it would continue to make 4G wireless modems and 5G infrastructure, but does not expect to launch 5G modem products in smartphone space, including those originally planned to launch in 2020. We are excited with the opportunity. This is Intel's PR, I guess, kicking in. Opportunity with 5G and the cloudification. That's a different word.
Cloudification.
Yeah, of network, but with smartphone modem business as it is, it became apparent there's no clear path to profitability and positive returns. The Intel chief executive Bob Swain said in the announcement, 5G continues to be a strategic priority across Intel and our team, and it has developed valuable portfolios for wireless products in electrical. How do you say that word, George?
Intellectual property.
Okay. Intel's shares gained 1 point quarter in late trade. This is coming from Market Watch, so it's dealing with the stock and all. But
exactly. But the thing that it said, the key phrase there, but there is no clear path to profitability and positive returns. What that tells me is that once Qualcomm and Apple decided to settle, Intel said, okay, these guys are going to make a deal with Apple that we can't come close to, and we're not going to be able to make any money. Boom, they were gone.
Now, I want to ask the room a question, and you guys too. I I remember earlier on people were saying about the Intel chip for the modem in their phones were not up to snuff like a Qualcomm chip.
I had an Intel chip in my Alcatel. Which one did I have?
Yeah, well, that was for a processor. Was it include? Was there a modem included with that, or were they?
No, there wasn't. Yeah, that was just a processor. Yeah.
Right. That was the old Atom processor. I think
so.
called. Yeah. And it was just interesting to see them. Basically, they try to come into the business and for chips and stuff.
It sounds like, just reading this article, they were constantly playing catch up, and they were having a hard time trying to catch up.
Right? Well, Qualcomm is really, and MediaTek is about the only other ones that make it at least for the CPU portion of it.
And Huawei.
Huawei has their own, but I don't think they're
the only chip that's in the world that's considered at least as good, maybe better than Qualcomm.
See, now that wasn't what you were talking last week. Huawei was talking about selling. Was it chips? No, modems.
No, 5G. No, 5G. Yeah, 5G.
5G modems to Apple.
Yeah, but now that's gone for them too.
Oh, that's gone.
Oh, yeah, but Qualcomm has their they're all set to do this. I believe. I could be wrong.
We haven't heard anything. No, I haven't heard. Have you heard anything?
I'm just assuming, but I could be wrong.
Okay.
But yeah, when it comes to 5G, I think Huawei's ahead of everybody on Earth.
Yeah, I'm just want to say I remember Brandon from Everyday Tech. He was complaining about his iPhone and not pleased with his internet speed on there. And I
didn't catch that.
Yeah, I was just going through a phase with my iPhone. Man, it just would not. I would be doing something and have to. You ever have on Twitter would have a video running in it. The person would post something and put a video in there, even a gift or something funny in there. Right. It wouldn't load. I would watch YouTube and I'd watch half the video and it would stop and you get the spins. Okay, I would pick up any of my Android phones and turn it on and get back to where I was, and like that, everything worked.
I haven't had the issue, but in watching almost anything, I flip back and forth between my iPhone and my S10 and my Nokia. So I couldn't even tell you which one I watched the last thing on, but I don't remember having any issue with my
iPhone. No, you would know, because you were like, you'll be like, what the heck's going on here? And you're thinking maybe I'm in a bad part of the house or
I haven't had that issue at all.
Yeah. I had it, and it took several tries of different things. I would turn it off, put it back on Wi-Fi, turn off of Wi-Fi. I cleared all my stuff running in the background. I rebooted the phone several times. Okay. And lately it's been okay, but man, especially last weekend, it just was
interesting.
Yeah, it was not good. But I heard other people complain about their chipset. So
it's not just you.
I thought the issue you're talking about, Mike, was with the iPhone XS with the modem thing. That's what I thought. I thought they switched to the people who did the modems with the XS. I'm not sure though. But I remember complaints, but I thought it was with the iPhone, the new one. I thought it was the XS and the XS Max with the.
You're right. Modem. You're right. You're right. It is with the new 10 series. Yes.
Yeah, because they switched. Right. I think they switched companies. They went to. Who did they switch to? Now you make me look. I think it was.
They had to go on to Intel.
George, you remember?
No, none at all.
I don't remember who it was, and we should know it because, it was a big thing. But
dig it up.
I'm looking.
Okay.
But yeah, did you get it fixed, Mike? Did it work? Doing the network thing I told you?
Yeah, I played around with it. Oh yeah, I reset the network. Yeah.
It says people who went from Qualcomm to Intel may see worsening in fringe areas. People who went from Intel to Intel.
So they're saying fringe coverage
I guess,
areas, yes?
let me see. The new iPhone XS and XS Max are using Intel modems, while the older devices used a mix of Qualcomm and Intel. AT&T iPhone 8 and iPhone X models used Intel modems previously, while Verizon had Qualcomm modems. So I guess it depended on which one you had, but it seems like the people who went from a Qualcomm modem to an Intel modem see worsening reception for Wi-Fi in fringe areas, while those who went from Intel to Intel may see an improvement.
So the key there is fringe areas, right?
But they're saying that the Intel one is supposed to be better, I guess. I don't know. I don't get it. Because the first thing it says is the iPhone, they said they use Intel modems. And I guess it depends on your carrier and everything. I don't know.
Yeah, it does seem like it's tied to the carriers. Yeah.
It looks like it's the carrier because the carrier, I guess certain ones use different modems.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was a mess. I remember when it came out, a lot of people complained.
Will, you never had any problems, have you?
No, like the most, I got Comcast, but the most issue I'll have is when I'm home. Well, I think it's related to just my Wi-Fi, and I'll just switch to cellular, and it'll be better. I think it's it's more my Wi-Fi than.
Oh, really? Yeah.
My Wi-Fi is trash. Comcast is lousy.
So you're in the only part of the house you'll get good Wi-Fi, so we can have the stream tonight.
Well, no, I get my Wi-Fi is all right, but as far as like for speed and all that, it ain't that great.
Yeah.
So I do better with cellular, with the regular.
You're a captive audience. Good old Comcast.
Yeah, Comcast got it. That's what they're gonna end up doing with the cell phones if T-Mobile, if that merger comes. It will be down to 3, and then all we need is one more slip up by some company, and it'll be down to 2.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But even if the merger did go through, I gotta believe at some point the government is just going to come down hard on them. I think.
They've been going through this for a long time, man. This is.
Yeah.
Because I remember when they were on, I think CNN talking about it. John Legier and the guy from Sprint.
Oh yeah, they were pushing it hard last year.
Yeah.
Okay, are we ready to go to the next?
Yeah, sure. We're not gonna make it to the end.
All right, I'll take it. It's, Apple iPhones will get 5G in 2020. This is coming from Gizmodo, and the story says 5G speed may be coming to Apple products as soon as 2020, according to a recent report. Fast Company wrote this week. I don't know who Fast Company is. That a source with knowledge of Apple's plans says that a line of iPhones using the Intel 8161 5G modem chip is planned for release in 2020, and that Intel is developing a precursor chip called the 8060 for testing purposes. Yet the site added that not all is well with the development process, particularly with the level of heat generated by the millimeter wave signal processing. Well, isn't heat the thing that stopped the air power from coming out? Isn't that the same problem they had?
Well, yeah, they said it was overheating. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So we may not see this at all. Anyway, many wireless carriers, including Verizon and AT&T in the U.S., will initially rely on millimeter wave spectrum between 30 gigahertz and 300 gigahertz to connect the first 5G phones. But millimeter wave signal requires some heavy lifting from the modem chips. This causes the release of higher than normal levels of thermal energy inside the phone. More explosions. So much so that the heat can be felt on the outside of the phone. This sure sounds like Note 7. The problem also affects battery life. Heat generated by a device component is always converted from electricity stored in the battery. Okay, so what all of that says to me that if I'm Apple in let's say another 6 months, they're still having heat issues, I'm going to cancel that deal because I don't want to go through Note 7 crap. That's what I'm hearing. Fast Company added that their source said Apple is displeased with Intel's progress in resolving the heat generation issue. Bill wrote it was not enough of an issue to reopen conversations with Qualcomm. I'm thinking they're going to dump Intel altogether, is my guess. They talked about their legal battle, but of course that legal battle is now over.
Well, it wasn't. I mean, they just announced that they're not doing 5G Intel.
Yeah, they're not using Intel,
the modem, right? With the modems, right? So
yeah, so they just dropped them, so they're done.
Yeah, so this whole 5G thing in 2020, I think it's going to be Qualcomm. But it also says at the end of that paragraph, where did I just see it? That they're reaching out to me. Oh yeah, it has, however, reached out to another supplier named MediaTek, though that seems like a contingency plan if that Intel doesn't work out. So this story had to be written before they settled, before they had their settlement on Tuesday, don't you think?
Yeah, it had to be.
Yeah. So on the one hand, Apple may get 5G in 2020, but my guess is it's going to be Qualcomm that supplies it. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I don't think they're going to take Huawei.
Yeah. You don't think they're going to take Huawei?
No.
I don't think the government's going to let them take Huawei.
No.
Yeah.
I don't think they would do it anyway. They wouldn't want that. They wouldn't want that backlash.
But Huawei is
especially being 5G. Yeah, but George, Apple is the privacy thing.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, and the last thing you want is Huawei in that. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, they have all kinds of TV commercials about it now.
Last week was nothing but PR.
Yeah.
And everybody's saying they need Qualcomm, so they're going to do it from Qualcomm. But I'm glad they're not just going to rush it out just to be like, we got a 5G model phone, because that's we already know 5G is not going to be.
Android said is saying 5G is big business for profit. Yes, and in the next 5 years, 5G is probably going to change a lot of the world. That's literally true, I believe. Your mother's saying good night, Mike. Good night, Carol. Happy Easter to you.
See you, Mom. I'll call you later.
See, Mom hung around until we all calmed down. You notice?
Yeah.
Okay, so it looks like if Apple gets 5G next year, it'll be coming from Qualcomm, I guess, and not Intel. So that's that.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. You guys want to talk about the?
All right. We can we can get these. We can put these. Oh, the Facebook. You want to talk? You want to talk about that? Did you put that in there?
I didn't say anything about Facebook.
I thought you said Facebook. I thought you said
Facebook.
No.
Pixel.
Oh, because I sent you that article about Facebook. Did you see it? Not Facebook. Instagram.
Oh.
Mike, did you see it?
It to me.
I breezed through it real quick, but
I wanted you to see it, Mike, because I remember you were like, "I'll just use Instagram. It's just as bad."
Yeah.
I mean, who owns Instagram? Well, Facebook, obviously.
Yeah, it's just as bad. And they had everybody's stuff in readable format. That's crazy.
Oh yes, I did see the everything is out in plain text. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh well. All right. I don't know, George. I guess we can kind of combine these, right?
Okay, go for it.
Well, it looks like they got new. Well, they're not really new anymore, but the prices of the Pixel 3a and 3a XL have leaked. Let me find it in the article. And these are like the budget models of the.
These are the budget models of the Pixel and Pixel XL. Yes. That we've been hearing about forever.
Let's see. Oh, they got photos too from Reddit. The article got a link. They come in at $649 Canadian, and no, wait, that it? That's it. That's the price. Wow, $649 and $799. Yeah, that's not that.
Yeah, I think for us that converts to $600 at the top
and $699. Okay.
Yeah.
I was looking at the carrier. The first one was the carrier price. Yeah.
Okay.
And they're saying it's going to be not this year. It's not that affordable. That's what you were saying earlier. It really isn't.
That's what I said. It's not that affordable. I mean, the XL is going to cost $600 for us, and the smaller one is going to cost something.
but if it comes true and they put it in T-Mobile, then
you
might see $100 off. You know what I mean?
But that's the
true.
thing. That's the next thing that's in the article. The phone's coming out. We know that now. Google even had a leak to it on their site. People had like links and stuff. They were able to see the page. But
it's probably in the next 2 weeks for Google I/O.
They have the date May. I want to say the 7th. It's either May 7th or May 3rd. They have like a whole page or something up. But it's supposedly T-Mobile is going to be selling the phone, and we were talking about this before we started, which is going to kind of hurt OnePlus because
up until now, Pixels for the last 3 years have been exclusively
to Verizon,
or you bought it unlocked.
Yeah, I would still buy it that way, but
me too.
It's they're going to be at the same price point, especially if they get the 3A and the 3A and 3A XL. Hope they don't call it that, but they're going to be at the same price point, just about as OnePlus, and people are going to be like, they know Google, you know what I mean? They know the name Google, and the camera is, I'm sure, going to be amazing. So it's going to hurt OnePlus. It's going to be interesting to see how T-Mobile markets this versus OnePlus.
Yeah, I'm disappointed in the pricing though. But like I said, T-Mobile comes out with it. Yeah.
But George, you know what? Like, I think I was watching and Jay Will had a video. He's talking about the Fold, but he was like, T-Mobile only lets you finance so much money, so this will be like OnePlus territory. You know what I mean? You won't even have to make a down payment.
I don't finance anything anyway, so it wouldn't matter.
You don't, but
we didn't hear anything about the OnePlus deal, or rumors. We were getting rumors way before that OnePlus was going to cut a deal with T-Mobile. So we don't know if the 7's going to make it back to T-Mobile.
No, we don't know. Yeah, there's nothing about it.
Are they putting it in there, or was it just a one-time thing?
Yeah, because I mean, the T-Mobile deal has benefited OnePlus tremendously. So I think if they don't put the 7 in there, something's really wrong.
But you know what though, George? I think that T-Mobile has always wanted the Pixel.
Could be.
So I think they took OnePlus, just for that year, because they couldn't get the Pixel yet, and I think they're probably going to bail on them. Because even if you remember,
Google is squashing any deal for OnePlus 7 going in there.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it might be over now because every year, like when Google has their thing and they're announcing their phone for Verizon, the T-Mobile trucks are outside with advertisements saying, "If you bring your Pixel to us."
Yeah,
so they already were. They've been after the Pixel. So
yeah, that's true.
They probably, this is good for them. It might not be so good for OnePlus.
Well, I think it's good for the Pixel. Certainly, as a T-Mobile customer, it's probably going to be good for me. But I hope OnePlus gets their 7 in there too, because I like the success they're having.
I just seen an article saying that OnePlus was something about going on all the carriers. It said Verizon.
Really?
Yeah, I just seen it. Hold on.
Rob from RPT Tech Review saying unlock is the way to go. Updates are delayed through T-Mobile.
Yeah, see, they got job listings. Here you go, Mike. It's on. Just came out today. OnePlus job listings hint at future release on Verizon, AT&T, and Sprint. So I guess they're listing jobs. A senior technical account manager with deep understanding of carrier product development. And then it's got a senior technical account manager for Verizon in New Jersey. One for AT&T in Texas, one for Sprint in Kansas, and 2 more for AT&T in Seattle and Washington. So yeah, I guess they're trying to. That might be why their deal might be over with T-Mobile. They might be going to Verizon, AT&T, and Sprint.
It could be.
Yeah.
Wow, that's and they come in at a reasonable price point. You know what I mean?
But I'm also surprised that AT&T didn't get the Pixel because as far as I know, that's the only unlocked phone that AT&T will give you like Wi-Fi calling on. Like they actually support that on the Pixel. So,
okay.
So I thought they were going to get it before another. another company, but we'll see. Or maybe you never know. Maybe this isn't an exclusive with T-Mobile for the Pixel.
Let's see.
Maybe it's not just on T-Mobile. Maybe it's going to be everywhere.
You see, the article goes on to talk about that for a similar price, at I guess 720 Canadian dollars, you can snag the best Android phone for 2018, the OnePlus 6T, which features the same flagship processor in the Pixel 3. By the time the 3A launches, the OnePlus might also unveil their OnePlus 7 series. The cheapest OnePlus 7 might still end up being a better deal. Not to mention OnePlus 6T price should drop in the coming months, and I can see that. You imagine what inventory T-Mobile has, so yeah, you could see a decent drop in that phone too.
That's true. Yeah,
you know what I mean.
True. Yep.
So yeah, what's the word on this 3A? What's the processor? Did anybody know, or what?
I had seen it in the past. Let me go back to the other article. I just shut down the other article. Will, you seeing the processor anywhere in there?
No, in the 3A. I don't think it's in there, but we were just talking about it last week. Let me see.
Was it one of the? Was that the one that could get the 700 series processor?
Yeah, it was like that. So I was talking about it the other, when he was on.
410. Oh,
no.
I'm like, what is no?
I'm looking for it.
I'm reading the comments that they were coming in.
I'm trying to find it in an article.
See this here. Let's see what this says.
Just the specs. I'm seeing an article, but I don't see 64 gigs of RAM. It doesn't have the specs you want, Mike. In the one I found.
No.
Nope. Still looking.
Okay. 3A Qualcomm Snapdragon 670 or 710. 3AXL Qualcomm Snapdragon 670 or 710. So they're both getting either the 670 or the 710.
Now, 710
is supposed to be a pretty good processor.
Right, especially for the gaming aspect, I think.
Exactly, right.
Excuse me, George. Yeah. RP3, he said, is anybody interested in any of the Samsung A series phones? I'm not.
I'd be interested in an A80. I had originally been interested in the A80, and then I saw something that told me, no, I'm not.
Oh, no, really?
Yeah, something pulled me off of it. I can't remember what it was. Let me look up the specs again.
See, I'd say, Rob, that's some innovation there. That's trying to be something different.
Yes, I agree. The idea of that rotating, of rising and rotating, that you know me, that kind of stuff fascinates the heck out of me.
Oh God.
What are you reading there, Mr.
I'm just laughing because the Galaxy Fold is innovation too.
That's right.
Yeah. You can always get me kind of hooked with innovation.
But $2,000 kind of kills it though. A little bit,
that'll knock it out of my.
How much is the A series? How much is
wait. A series been out for a while. Has anybody got any reports of any problems with it?
The one that
I've heard.
That's the one.
Yeah,
what's
the
it
A80.
called?
Yeah.
Oh, the A80.
It's the Galaxy A80.
Yeah.
What did I didn't? There was something I didn't. I didn't like the price. I know that.
Yeah, how much was it?
I think it was about $600, wasn't it? Something like that.
What's that? The A80?
The A80, which to me was too much, but that's just me.
No, it was up there.
Yeah, I was surprised at how much they wanted for. I guess it's because of the R&D and the rotating camera and all that stuff.
The slider.
Mike, you know what? We're not gonna hear about that phone anyway.
Yeah, they're not releasing it here. But
No, I know
you're
gonna have to import it.
But it did have all the bands for T-Mobile. I noticed that too.
No, I'm saying like if there's problems with it, we're not gonna hear about it.
Oh, I think we will. I mean, let's say they have it in England. Well, Android Central would report on if there were problems with it. 650 euros, so that's going to be about $600. Yeah, I think the price is too high for supposedly mid-range phones, but they want somebody to pay for that rotating camera. Yeah,
and somebody will.
Yeah. If somebody will pay for a fold, somebody will pay for that rotating camera. You can count on that.
Yeah. Well, people are getting famous off this folding thing. I know that. That folding thing got people some clicks and views and everything.
Yeah.
Now this is it. This is interesting. I'm just seeing this one here. It says Samsung Galaxy Fold could launch in India in May. Galaxy A80 might launch right in India.
That's what I see. Right.
Well, they were probably planning a later release there anyway, and they're probably thinking they're going to have it fixed.
George,
back up.
Do you think they're going to release the $2,000 phone in India, and the iPhone can't even sell?
That's true. That's true. You got a point there.
Yeah, I'm just looking at this here. I'll try and get this over to you.
I'm surprised.
But you know what? I heard somebody, I forget who said it, but Techzilla said that he wished the LG G8 could be sold in England. Are you kidding?
Oh, really? It's not sold there? Oh, that surprises me. I thought they got everything.
Yeah.
They usually pay a little more than we do, but
yeah, they normally get the better. They would be the ones to get the headphone in the box.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That is true.
Everything.
Right.
And they get all the Huawei phones they want.
So
yeah. All right, so we're on to whatever that's all I had for tonight. We're on to whatever you guys want to talk about.
George, I don't know if we talked about this on the stream. The guy who had the phone break, remember Mike, in his pocket? What was that? The Huawei, right?
Oh yeah, the P30.
P30.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I don't never import or whatever the phone. So if you bought that here, and your phone did that, you don't have no warranty, right?
Amazon will either have it with or without a warranty. Let me go see. Sometimes you can get it with. You can import it with. Sometimes you can't import it with.
Oh yeah, I couldn't buy one of those. No, I couldn't buy no phone.
No,
I bought both.
That's terrible.
I thought they tell you straight up the international versions have no warranty.
It does say like
sometimes they do, and then other times they tell you it has U.S. warranty.
Yeah,
some of them. The P30.
You gotta look at the listing. It'll tell you some of them.
Yeah.
I didn't think Huawei.
Okay. Here's a P30 international version. Doesn't say anything. Here's a P30 Pro international version. No warranty. Another one doesn't mention it. Even the Mate 20, no warranty. So I guess the Huawei phones generally don't come imported with a warranty. I'm seeing nothing but no warranty on the international versions. But other phones I've imported, you can get warranties. Like some of the Moto phones, you get warranties. Like the G7 Plus. This has a warranty. It's an international version.
George, Gary Brown said, "Do you think that YouTube had an overreaction to the Galaxy Fold?"
No, I do not. I think once the screen issues started, as bad and to me they're disastrous. No, I think everybody had a right to jump on it for $2,000. Absolutely, So no, I don't think there was an overreaction at all. That's just my opinion. But I do agree with you, Gary. It's new technology. Give them a chance. Give them credit for bringing it out. But I'm not spending $2,000. I don't care how good it is.
Did y'all see? I don't know if we talked about it. Huawei has that. They finally reached like a settlement in that thing with the. I don't know if we talked about it with the boot loop for the Nexus 6P. So if anybody got a 6P,
oh yes, I did see that.
and you'll be able to find, how you can get. I think it's up to like $400 back, but you have to be able to prove to them that you had the issue.
Yeah, you have to show that you had the issue. My 6P never had the issue in the first place.
I don't know how you're supposed to prove it, but I guess if you could dig up Google.
Oh, they gave specific criteria for what you had to show. I remember seeing that.
Oh, you know what it said? Something like if you got your phone replaced.
Right, that was Google, one. There was like 3 or 4 different things that you could show that you had the issue.
Yeah, because I think they were giving out pixels or something at the time. Yeah. Oh well. What else, Mike? What else do you got?
I don't know. Before George called in, I was watching Rene Ritchie on iOS 13, and I got up to the part where he kind of showed that a lot of Apple devices, except for the iPhone, has gotten some kind of dark mode.
It's everywhere. It's on the MacBook. It's on.
But iPhones don't have it yet.
I tried it, and I didn't like what it did to some of the apps, so I took it off.
The dark mode?
I'm using it.
I tried it.
Wait a minute. The dark mode's on it now?
Yeah, you can get the dark mode on it right now.
On the MacBook, Mike.
Oh, I'm talking about on the phone.
You can get it on the phone too.
No, that's not dark mode. You talking about accessibility? I don't know why people like that.
Under accessibility, yes,
you're inverting the colors. That's why it doesn't work right.
Yeah, and I didn't like it on a bunch of the apps. I took it right off.
Yeah, I'm using it on my computer. I don't have it on. Yeah, I don't invert the colors on the phone.
So what are we hoping for? What are we all hoping for?
I don't know. I don't know. They're not. I gave up. It's not. We're not going to have no customization like on Android. I know that.
No, I understand that.
But I don't know. I just hope they fix bugs and give some solid updates.
What's a bug? What's a bug right now?
I don't like. For me, right now, my phone. Honestly, my phone works good. I don't really have any issues, but I'm sure there's bugs that they find. So I'm sure they're going to work on that. I hope they don't break.
I have the dark mode on my MacBook Air too.
Yeah. Okay.
I just hope they don't break nothing, and they do what Apple does. They give me some new stuff because they'll come out with the keynote and they'll show you like highlight certain stuff, and then when you use it, there's like a whole bunch of different stuff that you kind of gotta find, or they might have tips that pop up and tell you about what's new, stuff like that. But yeah, that's
they seem to be pretty good with giving you tips and how to use stuff. I like that.
Yeah, so. I mean, Apple's they're not gonna do nothing too crazy because they already got people who are used to this and people who like the simplicity, and they're gonna keep coming back to it. Exactly. They know what they're getting every year. So
yeah, that's their stock and trade.
Yeah, they're gonna keep it like this because that's what makes people come to it. I was telling what's the name that earlier in the week, like with Android, there's so many choices that it's kind of if you go from a Samsung to an LG to a Pixel. They might all have something different. Like you might go from capacitive buttons to no buttons to, what I mean?
That's the beauty of Android, but the fragmentation is the issue that you pay for it with.
Apple's like, we're not switching nothing. We're leaving it just like this. Y'all gonna get these same grids of icons and the same easy, can't do nothing too spectacular. Mike, remember you were asking me, like, how do you clear the cache on an iPhone?
Yeah. That's what I thought the problem was. You know what I mean?
Apple's they're not giving you all that extra, they call it stuff they figure it's unnecessary for the average person. And I mean, for a lot of people, I'm telling you, I see people with Android phones and they don't even know how to use half the stuff that the phone does because they don't care about it. They don't, they just want the phone to work and that's it. So I think they're just going to stick to that. I know everybody's going to, I guarantee you, Mike, when iOS 13 comes out, everybody's going to be like, what a letdown. Everybody's going to be let down. Watch. People got their hopes so high up for what they think is coming, and Apple's not changing it. They are not changing their formula. They've been running like this for 12 years? They're not changing it.
I agree with you, Will.
Mm-hmm. And I guess I wouldn't either if it don't,
I'm with you there.
I wouldn't change it either.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. If you're making money, keep making money.
They'll probably bring dark mode and change a couple of the icons. I think the iPad is going to get a big.
Yes, he was talking about. Was also talking about that. Seems like the update is really geared towards the iPad.
Okay. Gary Brown said, "One UI got my mama lost." Oh man, that's crazy.
I'm going to send this to you guys.
RP3 said Android Q is adapting iPhone 3D Touch on their apps. Yeah, I don't know. I don't understand that. They already came.
I read that somewhere too. Yeah.
I don't understand. Like just like he said, Apple. I mean, Mark. He said, Apple's taking it away because like on the XR, you don't even have the 3D Touch built into the screen, but you can still use the feature.
3D Touch is in this phone, in at least here on my
Mike, you have it in your 8, and then the XR. I mean the X, the XS, they have it. The XR doesn't have it.
Yeah, and I've never used 3D Touch because I have the 10R.
No, listen, I'm holding up my OnePlus phone.
Oh,
you're talking about. I don't know. I'm trying to. I can't. I don't know.
You mean long press?
Yeah, long press. Is that
long press is built into Android.
On the XR, on the XR, you have long press. Essentially, is what it is. It's like a long press because they didn't put that kind of sensor or whatever under the screen because of the limitations of the screen or whatever it was. But Android now is trying to put something that's like 3D Touch so that it can work on all their phones. But I thought they already had that when they made the long press with.
Yeah, they had long press, but it wasn't really 3D Touch like Apple had. That's the thing.
But George, it's the same to me. I don't know. I don't understand what they're going for because
no, it's different. It has something to do with what long press and then launching something. And that's what's different.
Yeah, but I guess that part of it because you would need a special screen, a special thing under the screen. On Android, they're saying that it's going to work on.
Yeah, I don't see that because I think each individual manufacturer is going to do something different.
Because, Google, if you long press on Chrome, you get those 3 options or whatever that might pop up, and you can put one somewhere like a shortcut to the app, and that's long press, which is kind of what 3D Touch is. Like if you 3D Touch if you push the flashlight icon on the thing, it'll I forget what it does. It clicks up or something, and you can adjust the intensity of the flashlight. You know what I mean? I don't use it that often.
I'm going to try it right now.
I use it for that.
Yeah, I forget about that long press deal. That's pretty neat.
Yeah, I'm touching my flashlight. All I was doing is turning my flashlight on and off. That's it.
Look at us. We're all discovering our phones right now.
Exactly.
Who needs a fold when you got this?
Oh, okay, George. You know what you got to do?
It's no longer Mobile Geezer Channel. It's the Discovery Channel.
George,
yeah.
George, unlock your phone and pull down the control center and do it on that flashlight in there.
That's what I just did, and all I get is a flashlight on and off.
Let me see.
Yeah.
You don't got this on yours, and you do it?
Oh no, but I've seen that on other. It's not on my Nokia.
No, on your iPhone.
Oh, on my iPhone. Yes, and that's where I've seen it. That's the thing. Yeah, you're right.
Hey, I don't know if anybody's seen this. Listen here. Google.
It's right there. Yeah.
Google's YouTube app to be launched on Amazon Fire TV. Prime Video to be Chromecast and on Android TV.
Yeah, I saw that.
I didn't know. I didn't know. I saw something about YouTube, but I guess they made
I saw that article yesterday or today. No, yesterday had to be last night. Yeah.
I guess they kissed and made up finally.
Exactly. Yeah.
But yeah, Mike, what are you looking for, Mike, in the update, in the iPhone update?
I'm still too new at this, so don't ask me.
I can only wish. I wish. More customability. You know what I mean? That's all. I don't know.
I knew you were going to say that, Mike. I knew.
You know what he wants, Will? He wants Android on his iPhone.
Mike, I'm telling you, I'll never. You never give it a full shake because you still use Android. Yeah, so I still can't. And I know you use Android a lot. So I don't know. I guess you can't appreciate it because I know, having not used Android for I don't even know how long now, I don't miss it at all.
You see, for me, I'm like Mike. I use Android and iPhone every single day. So
yeah,
I don't miss it. Like I'm at the point now where I'm like, I don't even see why I liked it so much. Like being able to switch launchers and all that. It's just was something that kept me busy. Like I hope they don't. Like I know they'll never come out with it to the level that Android does, but I don't know. I don't even know how much of it I would want. I guess being able to put the icons where I want, I would like that.
That would be nice.
But I don't want no
an app drawer would be nice.
I don't want no themes. Yeah, like, but I don't want all the extra stuff. I don't want all that.
I don't know. I just to me, I like Android
Because just
I
like
do.
like what me and like what George was saying, like it just makes it so fragmented, and you know what I mean. I could see if Apple went in that direction, it would just be a problem. It would be
Two things I would like would be an app drawer and, like you say, putting the icons where I want to put them.
Yeah, that's all. That's all I would want. If they give me that, I'll be good. I don't want all that. You know.
I did work on it a while back. I kind of put a lot of stuff in folders.
Yeah,
I can't stand folders.
Yeah, see, I want to be able to put the apps where I want, and that's it. Like I don't care about launchers or changing the theme or changing the accent color. I don't care about none of that. Just let me move the move the icons how I want, and I'll be good.
You're so easily pleased.
Yeah, because I don't know. I guess I don't know. I'm over all the launcher and Nova and all that.
You're gonna be juiced up forever.
Yeah,
I got a consistent experience, and if I'd say I'm gonna switch from Samsung to LG, and LG's phone might work different than Samsung, or they might have a capacitive home button, and Samsung uses gestures, and I'm tired of all that. It's too much. I just want one simple thing, like you said, George. I'm the old man in the room, and
that's how it is.
That's how it is. I'll just take my boring experience. The watch works. Doesn't do nothing too spectacular. I'm good.
Will and I have role reversal. So when I sit next to you, Will, am I going to get old faster?
You might. You're gonna go home and you're gonna be like, "Who's that on my porch?"
good thing I shave my head every day. At least you won't see the gray. Okay.
Yeah, man. Like I'm good with a consistent experience.
And all the years that I just Android. When people ask me, if you want a phone that works, get an iPhone. I always told them that.
Yeah, that's why, Mike. When you ask me, like, can I clear the cache, and I'm like, Apple does not want you to have to do nothing with no clear, no cache.
I just emailed you. Yo, I just emailed you that.
You did?
Yeah, it says here manually way to clear cache on an iPhone 8 is to delete your cookies history and clear the cache by removing it from browser setting.
Yeah, but you were talking about like on Android how you can go to that app and
clear it
out.
You
can go to the app or you can go into the settings to do the cache on the phone.
Well, there's the easy way to do it at Apple. Just factory reset your phone.
There's something I can't remember what it is.
I emailed you how to do it.
It's after 10 o'clock, guys.
Yeah, I know.
And I know somebody's doing a double tonight.
Oh,
a triple.
I'm gonna be good tomorrow, boy. Yeah, it's basically a triple, and I'm going back Sunday, and then I'm working Monday through Friday.
Hey, real quick, wait. Hey, Will, did you get a case? Did you get a case for your iPad?
Yeah, I did. It's somewhere. It's back here. I got one from Target.
Really?
Yeah, but I don't know if I'm gonna keep it. I don't know if I'm gonna keep the iPad.
MacBook Air, for that matter.
Back up. You don't know if you're going to keep the iPad.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't been using it. Like, not $1,000 worth, so I might not keep it.
Are you kidding me?
No,
you said you were going to do nothing with it until you got a case.
No, I got the case, but that's what I'm saying. I'm still not using it, so I don't know. Let me see. You said you emailed me, Mike. I didn't get. Yeah. Nope.
Anyway, are we done? Are we done with the broadcast for tonight?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay. All right. So, folks, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for sticking with us. I hope you enjoyed the rants. I hope you enjoyed the back and forth with Will and Mike. I enjoyed it tremendously, and hope you got some information from us tonight. And next week we will be on Will's channel, right, Will?
Yeah.
Okay, next week Will's channel, 8 p.m. And stay tuned in 2 weeks. We have a surprise for you 2 weeks from tonight.
2 weeks, yes.
Yeah. So this is Mobile Geek. Well, Mike, you go first, and then I'll let Will go.
I'm Mike Dixon. This is Simply Your Device, right here in Pittman, New Jersey. You like today's video, give it a thumbs up. If you don't like today's video, don't give it a thumbs down. Give it a thumbs up because it's on George's channel. And as always, start the conversation. And by the way, spread the word on a replay. Go ahead. So, buddy.
Thanks everybody for watching. And Mike, you ain't look at the thing. They killed that thumbs up button. We got 15 of them. So thanks everybody for hitting the thumbs up for George.
Thank you.
See y'all next week.
All right.
George, next time you got to promote your super chat.
Well, yeah, I always forget to promote super chat. All right. Anyway, this is Mobile Geezer. Thanks for coming in. Thanks for sticking with us. And of course, you'll find me on Twitter and Facebook and Instagram. The website is mobilegeezer.wordpress.com. At least one article a week. And we will see you next week on Will's channel, Friday night as usual, 8 p.m. Eastern. Thanks, folks. See you next week.